I don't know what the transitional period is going to be. I mean, look, you can see a transitional period already when you're seeing all of these countries launch their CBDCs. You can see that the U.S. is already working on it. They're also working on something called Project Cedar, I believe, which is a cross-bank digital currency payment system. You're seeing the Project Bridge, which was a joint venture between the United Arab Emirates, China, and I want to say Singapore. I could be wrong about that third country. I do know that it is UAE and China, and I thought it was Singapore on the third country. But regardless, what it is a cross-bank payment system that utilizes central bank digital currencies that sidesteps the SWIFT system. What you are witnessing, I really do believe, is a coalition of countries that are gathering together to rally against the hypocrisy of the West, the sanctions of the West. I think you will see more agreements that are being made globally outside the U.S. dollar. That's really the most important thing. And what rises from the ashes, I'm not quite sure, but there will be a transition, and I think it will ultimately be away from the U.S. dollar. When you see Saudi Arabia not only making an admission that China is their most important trading partner in oil this year, but for the next 50, it's very telling. When you see Saudi Arabia saying we're going to join the BRICS nations, this is very telling. When you see all of the 13 OPEC producing countries on the Belt Road Initiative, this is very telling. You are seeing the chess pieces being put into place to challenge the dollar. And I think that's happening. And you get people talk about, well, how would the BRICS in all of these countries, which do represent a very significant portion of human population when you add the BRICS plus countries into it, the Shanghai Corporation Organization and the Belt Road, cumulatively, they're near 90% of human population. I hear people say, well, the euro didn't work when you had all these countries together. You're right. But what will make this work, the rallying cry is to get all these countries together is against the Western sanctions and hegemony and the weaponizing of the dollar is bringing everyone to the table. What will make it work is what we've been told will back the new BRICS currency, and that is commodities. They are going to use commodities, and in particular, I believe it'll be gold, to back a new world reserve standard and to challenge the dollar. And that's what'll make it work. It's the rallying cry against, the sanctions and the hypocrisy of the West that gets everyone to the table. It's the pledging of commodities to a new system. And I believe they will use this new distributed ledger technology, CBDC, to show the pegging to the world, the immutability, the veracity of what each country has pegged. And we've been told this by the Russians and the Chinese, that not only will BRICS issue a new currency, reserve currency, but it'll be pegged to commodities. This is how you make it work. You give everyone equal footing at the table with what they've pledged to the system. And I think it's coming, because what has made the dollar the world reserve is the protection of the Saudi kingdom, and OPEC, as a result, denominating oil in dollars globally. That is coming to an end. When that happens, the shit hits the fan, Patrick, and it's anyone's guess how it plays out, but I think if the whole world no longer needs to hold dollars and dumps them because they are now taking the petro yuan or the new BRICS currency or gold or whatever it may be, it's a whole new ballgame, because the demand for the dollar, this synthetic demand that has been created since 1974 because the Saudis said, fine, you protect us, we'll denominate oil globally through OPEC, where 85% of all oil has been in dollars. Yeah, it's going to be a generational shift. Things are going to change the way that they used to be. For all of our lives in the United States, it's going to change. And really, we've been living above our means largely to the good graces of our foreign creditors and to OPEC. That's all changing.